a second. There we go.
Hey.
We're now live.
Awesome. Hey, everybody.
Give them a second to trickle in here. And the stream will be recorded. It records naturally so that we can download it. It usually downloads in a little bit better quality as well. So we'll be uploading it and sending y'all the links and posting it. So that'll be perfect for anyone who misses right now because it is like a time zone shifty.
Yes, thank you for accommodating the European ones over here.
But yeah, Taylor, you want to get us started off?
Yes. So welcome, you guys. This is our X's and O's panel. We have Olivia Wildenstein and Eva Moore today. Eva is author of 2 romance series, the Girls Night Out series, as well as the Exposed Dreams series, which is her current series, which is really fun, following a family home renovation TV show. So we are really excited to have you guys here today.
And we also have Olivia. Olivia wrote Feather, which is going to be a physical inclusion in our May crates. Feather was, it's contemporary kind of fantasy. We have Lay, who is an angel trying to earn all of her feathers on her wings so that she can ascend to Elysium. But to do that, she has to help some people make some good decisions. And to do it quickly, she chooses a pretty big sinner guy who doesn't want to make the best decisions. And they kind of have this clash of trying to figure each other out and trying to make one better and one worse. But you know, of course, that's where the heat comes in. But this one is very exciting to have for in our box, and we have some pretty great questions for both of you guys if Taylor wants to get us started.
Yes, so my first question is for both of y'all. What is a new hobby your latest characters would pick up during the quarantine? Since we're all stuck at home.
Do you want to go first, Olivia?
I'm going to say that Lay would probably pick up cooking a little bit more and learn from Jared's sort of mother, Mimi, and make delicious meals.
Nice.
Not extremely creative, but I guess for an angel, it's like creative enough. I don't know.
I think we're all doing
more of an earthly pleasure. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if it's a new hobby that she would pick up, but Frankie, the heroine in Roughed In, is a home contractor, and I think being stuck in her own home, she would probably like tear it to the studs and just completely rebuild it from the inside out because she'd be bored out of her mind. And she's got a big dog who does not take well to being stuck inside, so I think she'd have a lot of repairs headed her way.
My family is a family of home renovators, and I can probably attest to that. My dad's already like, we can just knock out this room and make it to a big laundry room. We've got the time. And my mom's like, you're not going to do it. You're going to rip it all out and we're just not going to have a room.
Okay. Open space.
I feel like walls are looking less and less appealing.
Yeah. I'm definitely tempted to buy some paint.
Oh, yes. I've already made a list. I'm like, I have a painting that's been in the closet that's ready to be hung up. Oh, Olivia, you still there? Oh, there we go. You blooped out for a second, but you're there. Okay, so our next question is, what was the experience like?
Sorry.
Can you hear me? Oh, there you are. You're good. Oh. No, you're not. There you are.
There we are.
Can you hear us? Oh, we lost her. While we wait for her to bop back in, we can get your answer, Eva, for this one. What was your experience like releasing your very first book?
It was terrifying.
I'm so sorry. I got kicked out of the broadcast. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So the question, Olivia, we had Eva answering is, what was the experience like releasing your very first book?
So releasing my first book or my favorite book? No, what did you say?
First. Sorry. Your first.
My first book. Sorry. Eva, or am I?
I'll just finish my answer real quick. I I started writing it when I had two littles at home, and it was just a way to keep my brain happy and not focused on diapers and nursing and laundry. And I never dreamed that I would actually publish it. And then I kept writing, and I realized this is kind of something that I love. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to have this published by my 35th birthday. And so I did. I clicked publish on my 35th birthday, and with a homemade cover and no professional editing, and it was a hot mess. That book has now been completely rewritten. It is still someone special. It's the first book in my Girls Night Out series. But then I had entered a contest, and I won. And the prize was she was going to publish the book that I had written, but it was the fourth book in the series. So I ended up having to edit 4 books simultaneously and put them all out within like a 3-month period of time. Mm-hmm. So I count that as like my first real publishing moment. Pressure. And it was a lot. It was intense.
Well, I do love how you were like, I'm going to do this right now, and you did it, whether it was like perfect or like it was, you were like, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. And the best part is I published Roughed In, the last book in the Exposed Dream series, on my 40th birthday.
I love that.
So kind of came full circle on that one. I love it.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Okay, Olivia, what about your first book?
So my first, I'm so sorry. I'm having problems with the internet. Can you hear me or no?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it okay? Okay. So my first book, I published it back in 2015. So it's starting to be like a long time ago, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I just wanted to put it out there. And I was thinking, there's the whole self-publishing wave. Like, let me see what it's all about. And it's hard. Like the first 2 years, it was tough. And then I finally found I want to say I found my calling. It started in 2015, but 2017 was a good year. Mm-hmm. And I love putting the books out there. I love it. I love connecting with the readers. I love connecting with the characters. I mean, and having them be my own characters and not, too polished by other people and everything else. Yeah. So loving it. I think it's the greatest business to be in.
Yeah, agreed.
You're going to see some people they've been saying hello.
So, hey, Trisha.
So if they make any comments, I'll try to pop them up here as well as we go. Taylor?
All right. So who are some of your favorite or go-to romance authors to read?
That's a long list, Taylor.
Good question.
Let's see here. When I'm in the mood for historicals, Sarah MacLean's my go-to. And I don't know about you, but in this whole shelter in place business, I've been rereading a lot, and so she's been on my TBR a lot lately. I'm also really enjoying Avery Flynn's rom-coms. They are fantastic.
Have you done Butterface?
Have I done what?
Butterface yet?
Oh, Butterface is the one that I got started with, and then I binged that whole series, and then her hockey series.
Yep,
they're great. And then when I'm in the mood for something a little spicier, Katie Roberts is on my
forever
Kindle. Love.
Yes.
Olivia, how about you?
Olivia?
I love Elle Kennedy. I am a huge sports romance girl.
So
I love Serena Bowen and L.J. Shen when I really need something dark and broody and
she is that.
And then Tijan, or I don't know how to pronounce her name. She's great. I love her. Tijan for her dark, the dark heroines. Mm-hmm. No one does them as broken as she does. And it's really fun.
I love that. It's broken. All right. So what made you fall in love with the romance genre?
I started reading romance when I was 12. And so this has been a lifelong love affair. I think the thing that drew it to me then was the idea that I could still have my historical fiction and I could still have my sci-fi, but I could also read about people falling in love, which kind of matched to the feelings I was going through in early puberty. And then I rediscovered it in college when I needed desperately to get out of my own head. And some kind soul had ordered a subscription to Blaze for the 4 years she had been at my university and left them in the lounge. So I had like 4 years worth of Harlequins that I could just grab whenever I wanted. And, you know, when you're taking classes about like political science and dictators and genocide, you know, you need a brain break from that. So yeah, that's what kind of sealed it for me.
Yeah, I think I started around the same age, maybe a bit younger, and my mom actually gave them to me, and I had no idea what they were, and I started reading them, and I was like, whoa. So I had to like go somewhere else because I turn bright red when I read something a little racy. And I started with this called Barbara Cartland. I don't know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I cut off, but there was this author, one who dresses all in pink, called Barbara Cartland. I don't know if you guys have.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like one for. Am I cutting off?
Yes.
You're back.
Okay. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we hear.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you guys
hear us?
Oh
yes.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Sorry about that. Now I was saying I started with this author called Barbara Cartland. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her. I mean, it's like every cliche in the book you can imagine, but she was the first author I read when I was younger. And then I didn't read during college that much. I was very bad. And then I picked it up when I was pregnant with my first child, and it was Twilight. And I was just like, wow. I fell in love with paranormal romance right there and then.
Yeah.
I read the entire Twilight series in paperback, those big ass paperbacks, while I was nursing my oldest at like 2 in the morning. I had a little pen light and I'd just be like, you're asleep. It's fine. I love them.
Oh yeah, those books.
Yes.
Oof. I still remember the earliest memory that I had of reading romance was I always read a lot, so the school library was never big enough for me. My mom would take me to the public library, and she never really watched what I was reading because she just assumed what I was getting. And I remember one particular time that the librarian had called my mother and noticed how old I was and said that she's checking out something called Succubus Blues, and I don't know if this is something that she should be reading. And my mom's like, what is that? And I was like, oh, I didn't know what it was. My bad.
And was it good? Was it
that
good?
Year that I was 12, that year that I was 12, I had a bike, and my mom worked all the time, and so like I would just bike myself to the library and hang out. So I never actually checked any of them out. I just sat in the back of the library and read and hid it like up on a shelf so nobody would check it out before I was done.
Thank God for Kindles, right? Yeah. Nobody can see that book cover anymore.
Yeah.
Well, now my oldest is almost 12, and I'm like, okay, I need to give you a reading list because I don't want you sneaking. Start here.
Yeah. I still like whenever I was in college, I would leave my Kindle up on my computer screen with my project, and I'd get to a piece and turn the brightness down and kind of turn around.
I'll be at work now, and the last one was A Heart of Blood and Ashes, and it got very sexual and very tension-ridden at some points. And I was doing audio and had my earbuds in, and they started dying, and I was like, if this plays, I am getting fired. It is over. Do not pass go.
That first little warning tingle in the earbuds, I'm like, no,
pause.
Not right now. No.
Yes.
All right. What's the next question, Taylor?
Is it on me? Okay. So I always ask, what bevy would you pair with your book?
What? Sorry.
Beverage would you pair with your book?
I
Mine
have to go
mine
with
is
wine.
easy. Yeah, mine. It's always rosé wine.
Rosé.
I pair rosé with everything. That's kind of.
It's perfect.
I have to show you my coffee mug.
Oh, that's so
This
cute.
might be rosé. It
I
usually
love
is.
I love that. Okay, so our first lightning round. This is just like the first answer that pops in your question. If we want to do it, let's do Olivia first, and we'll do the quick order that way. So, favorite crying movie?
Oh, The Notebook. Oh, The Notebook.
Is that the same, Eva?
Oh, favorite crying movie. I am completely blanking. What do I sob to? I sob to everything. That's the problem. Like most movies make me cry. It could be like a Hallmark commercial. Let's go with The Notebook because that's a solid choice.
Mine's always P.S. I Love You. Every time I really need to let it go.
I
like,
still haven't read that one or seen it. I know. I heard it's amazing.
Gerard Butler. Do yourself a favor.
Tonight.
See, I'm an outlier. Becoming Jane is mine because that ending just like rushes my heart every time.
That is a good one. Favorite writing snack?
Peanuts, pretzels, rice
Way
cakes.
too healthy for me.
Wow, no. Cheetos and Swedish fish.
Nice.
I was like, that's a very healthy option there.
Oh, I try. If not, I just snack all day on everything. So no, I try to keep.
Story of my life.
Yeah. Favorite weather to read in?
The sun. I like the rain inside and the sun outside. Well, obviously, I think
that is fair.
I miss rainy fall. We don't have much of one here, and like my favorite time to read is like curled up, all cozy while it's raining outside and a little bit chilly. I love it.
That's perfect. Let's see. Favorite dance party music?
Oof, I partied back in the, what do we call them? The 00s? No, what do you call them?
Aughts. The early aughts.
A long time. What was
the one who chose this one? So Taylor, maybe you should tell us about the dance music.
I think it was Mojo back in the day, or Darude, or these obscure bands that no longer exist. But yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched the Captain Marvel movie, but the soundtrack to that movie was basically like my middle school, high school dance soundtrack. It was fabulous. But I will say I'm probably an outlier here. Like if you're talking about a dance party, most of the places I dance are swing events. And so it would be like big band, Glenn Miller Orchestra, that kind of stuff.
Very fun.
Oh, that has to be so much fun. All right. In the last of this lightning round, meet your favorite author or your favorite character.
Author.
Wow, that was quick.
Character.
The problem is I have so many favorite authors. Can I meet them all?
Yes. Go to conferences. Yes, we'll meet them all. And they're fabulous. I would say character. But again, could I have a few?
Like, who would it be? That's the real question.
No, that you don't get to know. I'm sorry.
All right. So Eva, your stories all focus on really strong knit friend groups or strong knit families. How do you develop such authentic bonds for these groups?
First of all, thank you. They say write what you know. And I grew up with a really strong, big, sprawling family where I was the only girl and had a bunch of boy cousins. And then we moved to California away from everyone that we knew, and then moved to Singapore, really away from everyone that we knew. And I had to create another family who was awake on my time zone. And so we have this wonderful group of friends who are as close as family. In fact, I have a happy hour with them at noon. we're all zooming in. There's a family
Nice.
from Spain, Italy. There's one in Texas, one in Philly, and us. So, but like, you know, both growing up with that extended family and also learning how to make a found family, I think it really brought home to me the importance of having those bonds in my life. And when I try and write my characters, it seems like either they come from that and value that in their lives, or they don't have that and they want it. And so that kind of forms the structure of the background relationships as well as the main. So yeah.
Love that. Was it awesome living in Singapore?
It was amazing.
Oh,
I'd go back again in a heartbeat.
All right, Olivia. So Feather is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, which isn't the happiest of stories. So what inspired you to take this and make it your own?
So I've always been a huge fan of Romeo and Juliet. I love sob stories. It's terrible. I mean, I hate to get my heart broken, and I almost hate reading them just because I know I'm going to just cry my eyes out, but I love them. And I love the idea of, opposites like that are not allowed to be together and defying the odds to be together. So I think Romeo and Juliet was, at the core of Feather, it developed like that. And then I added the angels, and I wanted something a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to say it's very different than Romeo and Juliet, but I feel like it has a little bit of a modern flair to like the whole Shakespearean tale. But
yeah, you're mean, but I also love it.
So, Eva, your current series, Exposed Dreams, focuses on a family home renovation show. What was your favorite part of research for this?
You mean besides hours of watching HGTV?
I mean,
enjoyable.
The sacrifices we make, right? I did. I watched a lot of Fixer Upper. In fact, I watched a lot of it while I was in Singapore because I missed home. And so you could turn them on in the middle of the night, and it was a great way to kind of be back in America for a little while. But I think my favorite piece of research that ended up making it into the books, my friend Trisha, who's commenting down below, found this great video of a motorized cabinet where the countertop slides back and reveals a wine cellar built underneath the kitchen. Like underneath your kitchen island becomes a staircase down to your wine cellar. I just thought, I want. So since I can't have, I wrote it into the book, and it malfunctions and creates a lovely little forced proximity moment for the hero and heroine. So
that's super romantic and also very terrifying. Wow, being stuck with a bunch of wine, how horrible.
I've definitely pinned that the wine cave below the kitchen. I have it on Pinterest somewhere. I love it.
I love it.
Okay, so Olivia, Feather has such a unique world building system of the wings. Just for some of you watching, there's a wing system where angels start out helping people and gaining feathers, and they have to reach a certain amount of feathers to rise to Elysium, which is where like the archangels and the rest of the angel society is living. How did you come up with this kind of system? Because I haven't read anything like it before. Where did it come from?
I think it's kind of like I take my information on a lot of news channels, and I don't know if you see what's happening in China, but people actually have a point system where they have points taken off of they get like an SMS if you cross the street, a text message if you cross the street, and you get points deducted. So I'm not saying it's coming from China because obviously it's not totally inspired by that, but I thought it was very interesting, this idea of like having something like you have to gain individual feathers, and and you lose individual feathers too. I think it was, it's a. So I think so. Megan, it's been a long time since I wrote this book. I don't know. I don't remember anymore.
Well, I do love, she very much questions in the book certain things that she's been taught were bad for her and that she would lose feathers over. And it comes to find out that, a lot of things won't hurt you and aren't as bad as you're taught and stuff. I thought it was a very good, it's a very good story of that point system relating to how she develops as a person and thinking what's okay and not okay. So it's very interesting. All right.
So, Eva, outside of your own writing, you are super involved, especially in the online romance community. What do you think makes Romancelandia stand out as a community?
I discovered Romancelandia online again when I was in Singapore, and there's always someone awake and ready to talk good books. I think the thing that makes it unique and a really special place to hang out is that you've got a whole bunch of readers who tend to be thinkers and who have opted into this genre of love and hope. And I think that group of people can create these amazing connections that come from a very positive place. Is it perfect? No. Do we have a ways to go? Yes. I personally try and create communities that are happily ever after for everyone. But I think romance is uniquely situated to do that because of who we are as readers and what we've chosen to value in our lives.
I love that take.
I do too. Uh-oh, messed up my questions. All right. So, Olivia, I heard that you just finished writing a new book that you described as The Maze Runner meets The Cruel Prince and a little Jumanji mixed in, and I'm very intrigued. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Tell me more. That sounds amazing.
It was such a fun book to read. To read too, but to write. It was really fun. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this show, Naked and Afraid, or
yes.
Not. Okay. So I am obsessed with this because my survival rating would probably be a 0.2. I'm afraid of everything, and I need everything to be super clean. And I don't know. I don't know how I would survive, honestly. And I thought, oh, this would be so much fun to do a universe in my paranormal fantasy romance genre, to do a universe where they're stuck in this, where they have to survive and they're stuck together because, I love that trope of being stuck together somewhere, just the two of them. So I have this fairy princess that gets stuck in a prison world, and this prison world evolves and changes. I'm not going to give too much information out, but it drained my imagination, and it was absolutely so much fun to write. So
that does sound awesome.
So that will be coming out very soon.
Awesome.
I like the forced. I love the trope of being forced into. Ooh, hold on, we had her. Okay.
Close proximity is your favorite.
There you are. Yes, close proximity, but was it? You took it to extremes there, didn't you? Oh, look at that bookcase. Oh, we have a
we have a visitor. Hi.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay, hold on. There, she's muting herself to. I think she's fascinating child.
Solid plan. I understand. I told my husband today that he had to be on for this hour. You're in charge. Nobody comes in.
Yeah, I saw my door open.
I saw that.
Let's see here. Oh, okay. She'll have to unmute it herself. That face, creeping away. Oh, there you are. Oh, we have a crying baby. That's it.
I'm almost there. Sorry.
You're fine.
It's all right, hon. It's all right. We have all been there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Eva, would you tell us a little bit about your fan group, Friends for Eva?
Oh, sure. It's called Friends for Eva, a play on BFF, Friends Forever, and we talk about wine and our shared hatred. Well, no, my hatred of glitter that y'all are trying to talk me out of, but
I will
standing
take
strong.
all the glitter from you.
Taylor's trying to talk us into glitter too. She's like, so I'm bringing full body glitter to the convention, right?
And I'm like, I can't hug you. I'm sorry, I can't hug you.
Me anyways.
And then I hug her anyways, because yes, I do. It's just a really lovely community of readers, and we get together every Wednesday for Wind Down Wednesdays. I share fun book goodies and giveaways and stuff. So yeah, it's a fun place to hang out. Come join us.
Awesome. Okay, so we have one more lightning round. Taylor, if you'd like to take that off.
All right. Are you guys ready? We're going to start with Eva and then go to Olivia this time.
Okay.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. All the coffee.
Coffee and tea. Coffee and tea. No.
It's hard to choose.
Can't
Peter.
choose.
All
Coffee,
right.
coffee.
Paranormal or fantasy?
Fantasy.
Yeah. Olivia?
Paranormal.
Both
equally as good. It's just it's so hard.
It's a very narrow.
I'm like both.
I came into romance through sci-fi and fantasy. Like my very first romance was Warrior Woman by Johanna Lindsay with like the multiple.
I love that cover so much.
Oh my God, it is epic. And for years, all I could remember was the cover, Taylor, until I was like, I think there were aliens, and one of them was a barbarian, and it was purple. And
Perfect description.
That's all we need to know.
But yeah, so that's where I lean. Excuse me.
Bookmark or dog ear?
Bookmark. And I'm trying to
Dog
teach
ear.
my children not to be heathens.
I'm a heathen. Dog ear, dog ear. I always lose my bookmarks. I never find where I am anymore.
Do you know what
Or
my
just
kid
random
used
things.
the other day? She used
What?
a sock. I went into her room
I
and there was a
use,
sock.
like whatever
I
I
said,
can
you know what,
find
I'll take
and
it.
shove in there.
I'll take it. It was clean. It's fine.
The clean sock. Hey, it's
Clean
not too
sock.
bad.
That's not so bad.
Taylor and I are both found object people too. It's like a receipt, that's fine.
Sticky notes are like my favorite because they don't fall out.
Mm.
Yeah.
I end up using a lot of hair ties and
Smart.
business cards.
Yeah, that works. All right. Rom-com or dark romance?
Rom-com. I can't have too much dark in my head. I need some lightness, some laughs.
I'm gonna go with dark romance.
I know.
Yeah, like
But I
your
do
favorite.
I love my rom-coms. I know I
knew where
love
this was
rom-coms
going.
too, though.
All right. So would you rather see your favorite book as a movie or as a TV show?
Oh, I think I'd rather see it as a movie, even though I know there would be pieces missing. It wouldn't have to be parsed out and, switched to last for 4 seasons. You know what I mean? So I think movie for me.
Definitely TV show. TV show.
Well, we already learned that you like to be tortured, so it being drawn out is
Exactly. Draw it out. Draw it out.
All of my favorites kind of fit into a long-winded series. So I'm like, either way it could go, but I would need the next one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Would you rather not be allowed to read new books or not be allowed to reread your favorites?
Oh, I would rather, it's going to sound terrible, but I would rather not read new books. There are sometimes I need to know what I'm getting into.
Where you're going.
And yeah, I'm a big rereader.
Same.
New books. Oh my God, Eva, I'm trying to be very
We
original
are
right now.
polar
but no,
opposites. I love this.
We're very compatible. Definitely new books. I cannot reread. I love the idea of rereading. I have so little time that I'd rather read everything that I can find.
Brittany's chiming in that K-dramas are the best because you get everything in 12 episodes completely resolved. I'm with you on that one, for sure.
I love to read new things, but I also have a disease of wanting to reread. I've been really wanting to read this new book, but I also could reread the entire Side Changeling series by Nalini Singh. So
that's an investment. Yeah.
So I finally caught up on the Side Changeling series, and I'm really upset with myself that I actually caught up and there's no more new for like a year. Like, what is this world?
Oh man, I'm a terrible rereader, but I try. I'll make we did a readathon recently with Fake Rate, and you had to read 5 books. I'm like, I can be true to 5 books. I was so unfaithful to that list. I picked different ones. I reread other ones.
See, I'm awful. I always say I want to reread, but it's very rare that I actually do reread.
I would say some months I'm all new, and then like I'll do a 2-week binge of like Nora Roberts.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know, but I've read them all. Yeah.
So are both of you mood readers, or do you stick to what you want?
I'm a definite mood reader.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I just finished a book last night, and when I finish a book, I have a bad habit. Well, not a bad habit, but I'm like, I'm not going to start reading another book right now, but I want to pick what I'm reading next. And then I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I don't feel like this though. And then I look at all my other books, I'm like, I don't feel like this either.
I have 2 paperbacks and 5 books on my Kindle that are at various stages of done right now. That's the kind of mood reader I am.
That's exactly the way I am. I always have like 4 books and I jump between them.
God bless the Kindle, right? Like, what did we do? Did we just have like shoulder lumps from carrying around 5 books at a time? Like, I don't remember this, but whew,
I still remember.
I'm really glad that I have it on my phone.
I still remember whenever none of my school friends or college friends were ever big readers. I always had to go online to find people who loved to read as much as I did. So whenever I was like so cliche in the real world, because we would talk about books, and I'm just like, I like physical books. I want, ebook isn't being true. And now I'm just like, physical book, I'd get it wet. I'm in the bathtub. Like, no. I still collect them. I like to read on Kindle, and if I really love it, then I buy the whole series physically just to have it. I don't ever like pull those out, but I'm like, I want the series. I need to show, look, these are the books I like.
That's my level of Armageddon prepping, is like, do I have the books that I'm really going to want to reread in paper?
Yes.
Because that's important.
Food,
water, toilet paper, whatever. Books.
Yes. I mean, if you get desperate, the book paper.
No. Maybe dedications and acknowledgments. Maybe.
Okay, you guys. That is all the questions we had for you guys. Was there anything else that y'all wanted to talk about before we log off?
I would mention one thing.
Okay.
The first book in my Exposed Dream series, Opened Up, is free right now on Amazon only because it didn't switch back. So I don't know how long it's going to be free for, but right now it's reading a 0 and I'm not going to email them about it. So if you would like to get started and try the new series, have at it.
Perfect.
I love technology.
Olivia, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I don't know. All my books are in Kindle Unlimited. Most of them, actually, not all of them, but most of them. So they're always available for those voracious readers. And I just started writing Celestial today, so this is very, very exciting. I'm diving back in the angel world.
Oh,
Nice.
I can't wait to read about Celeste. She was one of my favorites. She's so sassy.
I'm very excited to bring her to life, so this is exciting. Very exciting.
We currently have 2 different giveaways going on our social media pages. You can get more than one chance to enter by going to both our Instagram and Facebook. We have some pretty great prizes for you guys set up. The directions are in it. It's just following both. Hold on, I'm echoing with somebody. Oh, there we go. You have 2 chances to enter both if you go on both, and it gives you directions on how to follow and LinkedIn to both the Facebook page and Olivia's book club for her. And on Instagram, it tells you directions in our stories on how to enter. It's very quick and easy. You just repost the story and follow the author and us. And yeah, we'll be announcing the winners for those later. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We've had a blast. Yeah. I always love talking with romance authors. Y'all are so much fun.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This was a blast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Bye, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest.
I'm so sorry about the internet connection. It's so bad.
You've been doing fine. Enjoy your stay in your beautiful house in Switzerland right now.
Amen.
I know.
I know you've been apologizing about moving forward, but I'm like, look at those bookshelves.
I know. Every time you go to a different spot in your room, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. Pretty.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much for having us.
Goodbye.
And for the questions. It was fun.